Yeah, what up, guys? Kyle here. Um, Want to talk about I think probably the most buzzworthy news to come in the wrestling world since Undertaker's undefeated streak got beaten at WrestleMania, and that is TNA. TNA's deal with Spike TV is no more. Their contract ends. Their contract with Spike TV ends in October. They have until October to find a new deal. If not, you can pretty much say this will be the end for TNA. For a lot of things that TNA have done wrong and you know been crappy about. A lot of people have always said, and is always evident anyway, that the one thing that was TNA's life support was Spike. And that if Spike were to pull the plug, TNA, it'd be hard for TNA to strive and to stay alive, so to speak. So basically, what was being said is that was the catalyst for this of Spike TV kind of being not wanting to renew with TNA was that Vince Russo. I think everybody knows who reads up on the internet. It's been speculated to have been working with TNA under the table for a couple of months now. He had been denying it. Russo sent out a note mistakenly out to the wrong person, where it got out revealing that he was working with TNA creatively. When Spike got whiff of that, they got pissed and saying pretty much this was this was the last straw. As to this was the last straw, and this ends our partnership. So we're done with you. We're not going to renew you anymore. I think that's Spike has every right not to, because I think TNA, Dixie Carter, did things under the table, did kind of things, dirty-handed, and when you do that, it builds distrust between the partner, the company, which is being Spike. So Spike, I think, are valid as to why they don't want to renew their contract with TNA. Just bad business on TNA's part to doing what they did. However, it's still a sad thing. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people, clapping their hands saying, I knew this day was coming, and just celebrating that TNA could possibly just die, pretty much. Because they said TNA sucked anyway. Even though TNA had a lot of moments, really, and deserving its negative, gaining negative criticism from a lot of fans, including myself. I never still even wish death on TNA, period. Or any wrestling company, because yes, WWE may be the big leagues and the only big show in town, but I think from a fan's perspective, I think it's always good to have different alternatives in wrestling, even if it's on a national scale, national television. It doesn't have to be as huge as WWE, but if it's a different alternative and if it's good, if the product's good, then I say go for it. And then the other bad side of it is that the workers, they'll be out of a job. It was also said this morning too. I read somewhere this morning that Dixie is telling the talent, or the TNA officials are telling the talent that what they've been hearing on the internet about Spike and the company, it's not true. Don't believe it. It's all rumors. Yeah, that sounds like something Dixie Carter would do. It's like, okay, yeah, our sink is shipping, and water's coming in, it's flooding, and we're all gonna die pretty soon. But don't believe it. The ship may be sinking slowly, but it's not what you think. It's something else. It's not what you think. We're not gonna die. We're not gonna die. We're not gonna drown. And it's just like you're just denying the inevitable. You are trying to keep it calm. By you lying to everyone, I don't think you're going to keep it calm. They're going to make the situation a lot worse for talent. Because I think what Dixie fears is, since a lot of talent probably looking at this and saying, okay, well, if this is true, let me go look elsewhere. And I think she's flipping out. I think a lot of things can, a lot of things can culminate into TNA being in the position that they're in now, basically on death support, not life support, but death support. I think the two big key ingredients for me, one is not only the creative aspect in terms of TNA making compelling storylines or what have you, but I also think promotion. I think promotion is TNA's biggest downfall above anything else. AJ Styles did a shoot interview, and AJ Styles even said that TNA were terrible when it came to promotion, that they would come into town and that, there would be no flyers or anything. Even at the hotels that the wrestlers would stay in that city, they won't put up any flyers or anything in the same hotels that the wrestlers are staying in for people to know, say, hey, TNA's in town, blah, 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 whatever. It's not until after they've left that people find out and realize, oh, the TNA were in town, but it's too late now because they left. Promotion is a big thing. Like I said, it's one thing. You need to make compelling television to keep people in tune. However, you do need to make a promotion. You need to promote your product out there, get it out there so people can hear, so people can see it and say, okay, this is TNA, this is what we do. Get them hooked in to view your product. Then once you get them interested into checking your product out, then that's when you can come in with the creative storytelling and everything else to keep them in tune and keep them, keep coming back on a week-to-week basis, seeing your show live or seeing on television. But TNA's promotion-wise, it sucks. Their promotion team sucks terribly. They don't get it out. They don't get their name out there very much. Even AJ Styles himself said, they don't even do radio interviews. It's like, how do you not do radio? I mean, WWE always does radio interviews with their wrestlers when they come into town. Whether it's The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, Randy Orton, whatever, they always do radio interviews the day that that they're in town, or days prior to them coming to town, of where people can see them. So their advertisement sucks. Again, like I said, storytelling creatively sucks. I think the light at the end of the tunnel, I think that everybody really saw, was when AJ Styles left. This is a guy who was the franchise player of the company, the face of the company, helped build the company from the ground up, and they just say, hey, we can't help afford you anymore. How the hell do you do that? I mean, that's absurd to even think about, to say you can't afford a guy that helped put your company on the map. Well, not even on the map, but at least made it noticeable and enjoyable. You can't afford him. That doesn't make sense. That's like Vince McMahon saying to Hulk Hogan, oh, Hulk Hogan, we can't afford you anymore because you're selling out WrestleManias, and that's great and all, but we just can't afford you anymore. Or Stone Cold Steve Austin, you're doing great, but you know what? You're just too darn expensive, so we can't keep you anymore. Or Rock, it just makes no sense to me. It's like, no, you should be able to accommodate the guy that helped build your company. So I think that right there, enough in itself, was the last red flag. Sting, you could also say another one too, because I mean Sting, Sting has always been faithful with TNA. He's been with TNA for a good almost 10 years. I would say he's been with TNA. The other sad thing about TNA is, TNA have been in the business for 12 years, and they have not had a hot streak ever. They have had bright spots, little bright moments, but on the hindsight, on the larger scale, TNA have never really broken the mold or have really made a name for themselves. I would say they really haven't. 6-sided ring, X division, knockout division. At the end of the day, those are all gimmicks. What does stand TNA apart from everybody else? Nothing. It doesn't. And for them to have, out of 12 years, and for them not to have, some type of success and go to the next level, they haven't. For every one successful step TNA takes, they take 5 steps backwards, digressing. Is unbelievable. I mean, ECW has had better runs and was more successful and hadn't seen some progress with that company I would say far more than what TNA has. And ECW was bouncing checks on their superstars. And it's like, you know, when you think about all the things that are, you know, that have going on between ECW and TNA, you think TNA would be a little bit in a better spot and position than what ECW was in terms of success-wise, but they weren't, and they haven't been. You know, another thing that hurts is Dixie Carter. I've said this many times before. Dixie is the death of TNA. She handicaps TNA. She keeps the wrong people there, and she gets rid of the right people. And TNA has just been like a freaking doorknob. Everyone's had a turn. I mean, Eric Bischoff, Sting, Jeff Hardy, Rob Van Dam, Jim Cornette, Bruce Pritchard, Al Snow, who's still there. They've had just everybody, Mick Foley, they've had Jeff Jarrett. They've had everybody come in and try to run that company, and nobody's been able to do shit. It's like Buff and Stuff, who talked on this exact same topic. You know, all the other companies had visionaries. WWE had Vince. WCW had Eric Bischoff. ECW had Paul Heyman. TNA, they've had no one. I mean, sure, they've had Vince Russo, but Vince Russo really isn't much of a visionary, in my opinion. So, I mean, despite some of the good storylines he may have written in the Attitude Era still. So, you know, this is, I just had to put my feather in this cap on this here. I mean, if they can get a new TV deal, that'd be great. It'd be sad. I really don't know what else to say. I don't think Vince would buy TNA because a good number of people don't even know what TNA is, and you would have to reintroduce them to the brand of what TNA was and what it is, and I don't think that'd be a waste of WWE's time. So I don't even know if they would even purchase it. You guys let me know what you think. Comment, subscribe. Peace.